most sustainable CEOs. No order as is mentioned in the sheet. Oliver Hasnish, CEO and COO of MR Hospitality. Oliver, somebody from MR, Omar is here from MR to receive the honors for Oliver. I'll be grateful to you, Omar. Thank you so much. Please step up. He'll receive the honors. Big round of applause for Oliver. Mehsan Arshad, CEO of MAMS Infra Projects. Mehsan Arshad, CEO of MAMS Infra Projects. These projects focus on affordable housing. I'm going to give the mic to them to take a few words from them. Dr. Hiba Shatter, CEO and Managing Director of Child Intervention Medical Center. Dr. Hiba. Congratulations, Dr. Hiba. Dr. Taz Antasiadis, Director of the Ajman Academy. Congratulations. Let me take a few sound bites from you for the camera. Please share with us, please do the mic, the great work, about the great work that you do.
I will start by thanking you, Dr. Bhatia. Again, this is the second year, and I know that you believe in our mission in life. Yesterday is the World Mental Health Day, celebrated by the WHO to mark our mental health efforts to help students and children with developmental delay. I am the CEO of a group of companies. They are medical centers and education centers dedicated to the intervention and rehabilitation of children with special needs, developmental delay, autism, and other cognitive disorder. We work with them until we reach them to school, and we have built our education arm to support them with the inclusion services from shadow teaching to IEP building to all the services that they need and beyond. And beyond mean that we work with the community to raise awareness. We have walks, we have awareness days, we have workshops for school, workshop for parents. We continue to develop our services to meet the needs of our students and children. And when we started in 2008, it was very difficult to mainstream any student. We had to work very hard to establish partnership with schools and nurseries in order to find placement for our students. Today we celebrate 170 students in mainstream schools. We also have the first student in university and college. And with that, that's not the end of the journey, because we know that a lot of our students are in their teenage today, and within 5 to 6 years they would have to reach somewhere. So we established Maharat Learning Center, our first smart technology enabling center. And it is first in its type, in its kind, because it's not only providing them with all the technology, the STEM education, sports academy, and everything they need to succeed to access technical college in the future. So I hope this is a year of giving. I have received so many awards this year, and I thank you very much for nominating me for this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhatia, for involving us in this beautiful summit. And it's an honor to host you all in Address Hotel and Iman Hospitality. We're honored as well to receive the award. We believe in what we do, and we live it on a daily basis, that real happiness is giving, not receiving. And that's what we are lucky to give to our guests. You know, on a daily occasions, we give experience, happy experience that lasts for a lifetime. And that's something really makes us feel so happy. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. One of the finest and my favorite hotels. Like me, it's a favorite hotel of many. It's a great spot in Dubai. Thank you for the good work that you do.
Yeah, good morning all. Thank you, Mr. Bhatia, and I would like to thank World Sustainability, a Purpose for Organization. This is my first event, and I'd just like to brief a little on our background, what we do, so that you'll come to know what exactly we are doing. It was in the year 2010 that we have been given 300 million USD to go and invest for highest possible luxury segment. Then after studying for a year, we realized that though there is a growth into luxury segment, but we wanted to do something new, something good, and we wanted to support someone who has not been served in this expensive market. So we started focusing on 2 shelters for the people who are in need, badly in need of shelters. So we started with small concept of providing homes at an affordable rate, especially with the Indian region of northern part of India. And on the first month of the launch, we have sold 5,043 apartments in 24 days. And the costing for those apartments were only for about $25,000 to $30,000 per bedroom, and 2 bedroom is about $40,000. In these apartments, end users who come from rural areas, Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, they get the chance. And every family can own only 1 flat. There would not be any speculations as we have seen it in different parts of the countries. So every family gets 1 flat. Then those are the families who have been neglected, or I would say who have not got the chance to buy in those expensive property market. Apart from we give this, what we do is we provide 30 to 40% of our profit, which are very nominal, to another part of our business, which is into education. We provide education to the students who are lagged behind, who have been neglected by the society. So we support them, and till now we have educated 55 medical doctors and more than 250 engineers. So thank you very much. So the concept that we have for the global housing solution, crisis and its solution, that is one part that we would like to target into the housing segment. At the same time, out of the profit that we make, we would like to support people who are in need of education. Thank you. Thank you very much.
What keeps you going? And tell us, for the sake of this audience, which is so intellectually superior, tell us what are the kind of financials involved in this, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. First of all, I'm honored to be here with such a dynamic and result-oriented audience. I missed the earlier part of your lecture and the other lady. It was wonderful when I joined. The concept for providing education to each student depends on students' career path. What we do, we get into rural areas of any region, then we identify a merit student who have the ability to go further. So what we do, we test them, we have our own scores, we have our own tests. Then they have to qualify that test. So once they qualify, we take the student from the 10th standard, then we support them from 10th, 11th, 12th, and we support them to complete either their engineering or medical. So the cost that we incurred for this process of 7 years per student is about, in dollars, it would be about $50,000 per student in 7 to 8 years for engineering student. And for the medical, it would be about $25,000 per student.
Wow.
Anything else?
Amazing, no?
Thank you. And we are investors, but we seek investments also onto the segment wherein we have a profit of about 10 to 12%, which is being shared by those education students.
Wow.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Dr. Bhatia, thank you very much for this honour, and I'm very, very pleased to be able to speak to the audience. I've now been in education for 35 years, believe it or not, and I believe the best investment we make is in our children. I've now worked in 8 different countries in education, starting from the UK, Cyprus, Malaysia, Zambia, Nigeria, Ukraine, Dubai, the UAE, obviously, now Ajman. And perhaps I've come across maybe over 100,000 students. I think globally we sow the seeds in our children, and it's our children that will develop our future. It's our children that are 10, 5, 6 years old, 20 years' time, what's the world going to look like? Seriously. What did the world look like 5 years ago? What did the world look like 3 years ago? The new technology has opened up globalness. We can now support education globally. At Ajman Academy, we're just developing a venture to globally educate students in Tanzania so that we can deliver teaching to students in Tanzania because we now have the technology to do so. Ajman Academy is now almost an Apple Distinguished School. We're using technology for education. We're not using technology for social, we're using it to inspire our children to develop. With those children we sow a seed. 1 seed sows 5 seeds, 5 seeds sows 10, and that's where we get world sustainability, through education and through our youngsters. Thank you very much, Mr.
Congratulations and thank you for the good work that you do. You're very my attention. Martin Irat, the CEO of GOPA International Energy Consultants, Mid East, may I invite you to receive your honors. Martin. Thank you so much, Martin. Please be on stage. Dr. Sai Giridhar, CEO of Al Hilal Hospital. Dr. Sai Giridhar. Professor Abdul Sattar Ahmed, President and CEO of Emirates College of Management and Information Tech. My favorite hero, Professor Abdul Sattar. Give him a big round of applause. Ivan Pasanik, CEO of co-founder EcoInus, if you admit, sirs, please identify. I move on. Walid Al-Bashir, founder and CEO, Inbound LLC. For Ivan, you're receiving. Ivan, she is just coming. Please do. Thank you for coming, and I appreciate it. You just on nick of time. Walid Al-Bashir, we present to you Inbound LLC. Congratulations. Jasmine Abdul Hamid, Chairman, Founder of Jazz Group, London School of Entrepreneurship. May I please invite you. That young lady is a CEO and the father works for the daughter, so give them a good round of applause. I always have a knack, people keep telling me, my friend Pradeep Pandey tells me, you spot future leaders, he was a future leader. If I'm alive, I'm going to give her a good award one day. My physical age may be 56, mentally I'm only 24. Carlos Sabugurino, CEO, Middle East, India and Africa of Copal. Carlos, may I have the privilege to get you on stage? And before I take the sound bites, one more. Ganesh Iyer, if you admit us, please identify yourself. Okay, we take a few sound bites to learn from you. These are great sustainability leaders. I'm going to include their names in the book. That book will be released on February 18th in Mumbai in front of 1,200 plus leaders. United Nations Sustainable Development Fund leader, their CEO will be releasing the book for me. I couldn't have a greater honor than having the CEO of UNDP Sustainable Development Funds to release for me. So, gentlemen, I'm looking forward to learning from you. Please say a few words.
Yes, hello everybody. I'm really honored to receive this award. It's a blessing to be here today. It's also a good time slot to talk to you about our company, what we do, what is our contribution to sustainability. I'm part of GOPA, G-O-P-A. It's not Indian, but it's German. Yeah, it's like GOPA. It stands for a Society of Organization Planning and Education. 50 years old, number one in Germany for leading infrastructure development. Our portfolio is a bit wide. We do health, we do disaster screening, we do infrastructure, IT, statistics consulting, agriculture, finance, and so on and so forth. I'm specialized in the energy sector. I'm heading the region down here the last couple of years. So the last 50 years, doing $200 billion every year, we are proud to be part of the global sustainability program because 80% of our business, we work with donors, World Bank, European banks, Asian Development Bank, African Development Bank, and other international financial institutions. And what we do is really long-term. So we are a consulting firm, a technical advisor, doing master plans, designs, roadmaps, strategies, policies, to make things sustainable. So infrastructure is key, everybody knows that. 67% of our projects are running in developing countries and emerging markets. It's a German company, we're the only one, I think, not doing business in Germany. Everything runs outside. And yes, what we do is we help societies, we help people. And what we do is not only technically doing a project, we also do capacity building. Most of our projects or complex include capacity building, training on the job, getting clients on board, long-term development. This is mainly what we do. And down here in UAE, yes, we are proud to be linked to Masdar. Masdar means the source. That means we do sustainability, renewable energy. We have a mandate for Expo 2020. We are the technical advisor to Her Excellency Rima Ashari. So we are really blessed with this mandate to really show the world in a couple of years' time what does it mean, smart, sustainable infrastructure in world 2050 and on, so and beyond. So yes, we feel proud. I am proud. I'm proud to be here. Thank you very much for this award. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for doing this to the whole world.
You must promise me something today to make a difference to the world, because you can. I know that. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Sai Giridhar. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Al Hilal Hospital Group in Bahrain. Sustainability in healthcare has two dimensions. Sustainable healthcare and sustaining one's own health also. Al Hilal Hospital Group has ventured into enormous efforts in both these directions. As a hospital group, we have tried to design our services at the most affordable cost and provide to the masses the least overheads and the most efficient model that we could develop. And we've been highly successful in Bahrain and the rest of the GCC so far. That's that. Coming to health itself, we've taken up the task of identifying those public health needs which get lost out until individuals start feeling the problem and government has to take some initiatives. So Al Hilal Hospital has taken up healthcare initiatives like breast cancer awareness very seriously. We run 3 campaigns every year in the month of October, where more than 10,000 women are screened at a very subsidized price, sometimes even free of cost. We have, until now, in the past 4 years, identified at least 15 women who were screened and identified to have breast cancer at a very early stage so that they could be operated and their lives could be saved.
Wow.
As we know, breast cancer is becoming a big menace all around the world. We will continue to do this and try to expand and extend our screening services to various parts of GCC. Also, we are looking at vitamin D deficiency, which we are helping with free injections and identifying and testing free of cost to the public. And we are trying to identify more and more such health problems which is affecting the masses and try to solve them before they become a bigger problem. We will continue to do that, and thank you very much, Dr. Bhatia, for recognizing us and encouraging us to continue to do our service. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Professor Abdel Sattar Al-Lusi. I'm President and CEO of Emirates College for Management and Information Technology. Thank you, my friend. We are meeting each other for the last 3 years, and I'm happy. And that's good. For me, I believe that world sustainability is education. And if we want to sustain, we have to educate our children. And what the UAE leaders are doing a great thing, that they put education is the first priority. Education, education, and education. And I believe in a Chinese saying that if you want to plant for a year, just plant a grain. If you want to plan for 10 years, you plant a tree. But if you want to plan more than that, you develop a human being, which is education. So, in education, our society will be more innovative, more productive, more happy, and hope that we, in education, we will, with the invention of the technology, that in the near future, the education will be spread everywhere, any point in the world. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm representing the Ivan Pasechnik from EcoISMI. Unfortunately, he couldn't come, but from his name I can say that it's very thankful, such a great award. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dr. Bhatia. My name is Walid al-Bashir. I'm the founder of Inbound. Inbound is a sustainable mobility company. So we help corporate clients reduce their carbon footprint through innovative technology. We help them into the adaptation of more cleaner means of transportation and mobility. We had a couple of initiatives recently. The last initiative, we had a tour all over Europe, about 10 countries in Europe, 7,000 kilometers. That's purely on electric vehicles, pure energy. It was done with ESCB Europe, the university, in which we had a lot of e-mobility conferences in which they're discussing the future of sustainable mobility. And it was a living proof that this is something that can happen and then eventually can reduce the total footprint out of the transportation industry. Thank you very much again, Dr. Bhatia, and we're glad to be here.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jazim Abdul Hamid. I'm from UK. Thank you, Dr. Bhatia, for choosing me and honoring me for this one of 100 most sustainable CEOs. The reason is my daughter is here. She's an inspiration. Today we are talking about the charity, giving, happiness and everything. I've been teaching her so many things. One day, I explained about the saving the water. That was the World Water Day. I told my daughter that the children, they're going to suffer in the future without the water. Since that day, she learned saving the water. Many people, they are opening the water then even in the bathroom. And if I go with them, she always, Dad, stop the waters. Don't waste the water. She always concerned about it. When I'm taking to the masjid, or the prayers and every Fridays and all, during the Ramzan, I talk about the charities. Wow. And when you walk down even the Sharjah streets and all, see these many disabilities. I talk about it because I was a writer. In my early stage, I won many awards. From childhood, like everyone talking about education, we need to teach them from house. Each and every aspect of our life, we need to teach them what the good things. So then we can motivate in the young age to be a good leader in the future. That's the reason I brought up here, to give more information about it. So wherever you go, always think about the charity and happiness. Even the Prophet ﷺ also told us, smile is a sunnah. That's also a small part of the charity. So always do that. So whenever you go, wherever you go, always ask, he forced me that I give some pound coins, something to give the charity. That's why she learns from there. And regarding entrepreneurship, my life began to start at the age of 23. I went from Sri Lanka to UK as a student. Wow. With only just a £500, where I started my life in the heart. I didn't even think about it. That's my brother's son. Unfortunately, he couldn't come. He was my main motivator to go there because I failed to become a doctor in Sri Lanka. Because of very limited marks on it, because of the very tough schooling system. I promised my dad that one day I want to become a doctor. I couldn't. So I life might change because my brother advised me to choose my different directions. So I decided to go there, and at the beginning, at the age of 23, I didn't even think about where the London is going to go. I didn't even take my jacket or anything. It's a very freezing cold weather. But I sacrificed all my life there. Within 3 years, I dedicated my life. I thought I couldn't become a doctor. At least one day I can be a doctor in my research. That's why I'm choosing entrepreneurship as my research part, and hopefully I will get my doctorate very soon. But the thing is, when I went there in the UK at the age of 23, I completed my degree in business administration at the age of 25, and I became, 1999 I went to the UK, in 2002 I became a landlord in the UK. I didn't take any money from there. With zero, I became a landlord. So I bought my own house there. Since then, I established my entrepreneurship career, and now I'm more focusing on entrepreneurship and also start my London School of Entrepreneurship there. When I started London School of Entrepreneurship, there's a great challenge because the name I'm using, when we are talking about the branding, and there's a LSE, London School of Economics and London School of Entrepreneurship, they're very competing, and the legal battle come back there. Then still I managed to challenge that one. Still I'm finding that London School of Entrepreneurship globally is increasing. So last year I was recognized by the JCA International as one of the 10 outstanding young persons of UK. That's also recognized me for all my hard work in the UK, mostly 15 to 17 years I sacrificed. And this is a great time and honoring this more sustainable leader. I really appreciate and recognize you. Thank you so much, Dr. Badia and the Global World Sustainability. And thanks for giving me time.
Thank you. Very emotional story, and I connect with your emotion. It's almost starting from zero to hero. My best wishes to you, sir.
Thank you. I guess I stand here, I feel a bit of a fraud, if I'm honest. I came here with the primary intention of being a receiver, and all I've heard all morning is all about people who give, and it's been truly quite humbling, to be honest. I guess the tenuous link that Copart has with sustainability, one of the elements of sustainability is the environment, and Copart is the world's largest online auto auction company, so we're not really in line with a lot of the hospitals and the charities that you've heard so far this morning. But we do our little bit to the environment in terms of helping clean up and recycle lots of auto spares and vehicles that get dumped around the country, and through our online auctions that happen globally, we manage to put those parts and those vehicles into the hands of traders that can recycle them and put them back into the environment without the need to continually create more and more of these parts all over the world. So that's the little bit that we do, but it's very small in comparison to what I've heard on this stage today. And I guess I would finish by saying I've been quite humbled and motivated to try and go out and do a lot more of some of the amazing work that I've heard that goes on through all of you and your team. So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was really enthralling for me. Thank you, winners. Thank you so much. Great stories, aren't they? Inspirational stories, and that's what sustainability is all about. Dr. Ami Dahya from the GEMS Utilico Group, if you admit, sirs, please identify yourself. We move on. Khalid Bashnak, CEO of Energy Management Services of the Emirates. Khalid, may I please invite you to receive your honours, and thank you for your patience to wait to receive your honours. I'm a big fan of yours. Thank you for the good work that you do. Please be on stage. Please give him a good round of applause. I know you're a lovely audience, and I love you. Ibrahim Arirak, CEO of King Bell Producer Company Limited. Ibrahim, may I please invite you to receive your honours. Neeraj Sangal, Group CEO of OMA Emirates Solutions Gulf Ingenico. If you admit, sirs, we move on. Abdallah Masad, CEO of RAK Ceramics. Somebody from RAK Ceramics will receive the award. Their legal counsel is stepping up. A great leader himself, George, and his wife runs a lot of magazines on CSR. I'm going to give him the mic also to speak about the magazine today. Paul Griffiths, CEO of Dubai Airports, is represented. One of my favorite CEOs from the world. I hope he can speak at the World Peace Congress. Please extend my personal invitation to him, requesting him to speak. I'm a big fan of his. I like the way, the discipline with which Dubai Airports is managed. Big round of applause for Paul. Patrick Chalhau, co-CEO of Chalhau Group. Patrick, if you admit us, he's not here. Somebody's there to receive the award. Congratulations for him. for the great work that he does. Matthew spoke of Nuco. Matthew spoke of Nuco, if you admit, says okay. His Excellency Dr. Rashid Aleem, Chairman of the Sharjah Electricity and Water Authority. Somebody is there from Sharjah to represent him. I'm a big fan of Dr. Rashid Aleem. Please do step up, sir, for his honors today. And this audience will give you a good round of applause. Tony Jashimal, the Executive Director of Jashimal Group. Somebody to represent Tony Jashimal, the Executive Director of the Jashimal Group. Congratulations. Manohar Lohani, Chairman of the Polman Group. Manohar Lohani will receive the next honors. Thank you, ma'am, for your gracious presence today to receive the honors. We give them the mic to say a few words.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Badia. Thank you. Allow me briefly to introduce Energy Management Services, better known as EMS. I established it over 26 years ago with the main purpose of saving energy, electricity, water, fuel and gas. In the past 25 years, we have successfully completed over 900 projects, amongst which is RAC Ceramics, in fact, were one of the projects that we've done in the late 90s. And they were one of the people, one of the organizations that were thinking about energy efficiency ever since. We find our work is a translation to help businesses into saving energy. As you know, sometimes people are hesitant in saving, in caring for the environment because they think that it costs money. We prove to them that energy efficiency saves hundreds and of billions of dollars. That's what we have achieved so far. And that is our work in helping the community. We are now seeking into sustainable communities, and we are doing near zero energy buildings. Dr. Bhatia, thank you very much.
Zero energy buildings.
Near zero energy buildings.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The world needs you. The world needs you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rashid. On behalf of Ibrahim Ariran from King Bell Producer, I would like to congratulate Ibrahim and also thank Mr. Bhatia and his team. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Dr. Bhatia, thank you very much for the award. Obviously, like our friend just said, RAC Ceramics has been investing in sustainable energy for a long time. In our field, we use, obviously, manufacturing we use a lot of energy. We use gas, we use electricity. And it's very important to try and have a balance between sustainability and being profitable and using the energy. So it's been a few years that we study and invest in ways to become more sustainable and to use renewable energy. We have ongoing projects. It's been a few years. We are actually now trying to implement solar power energy across the whole manufacturing plant. And I think it's important for a big organization to lead the way in this field. Thank you.
I want you to talk about the CSR magazine and tell them online which portal they should refer to.
It's called www.theethicalist.com.
Ethicalist.com.
It's a sustainable, eco-living lifestyle magazine. So if you can go and visit, that would be great. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm just receiving the award for Mr. Paul Griffith, CEO of Dubai Airport. Actually, we are in Dubai Airport. We are really blessed that we have His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed, our chairman, and Mr. Paul, our CEO. When it's coming for CSR activity or any activity we want to do for the country of Dubai, we give the approval direct and very fast way. Really, they are supporting us by, of course, giving us all the document to be approved, or by themselves from their pockets sometime, especially for His Highness and Mr. Thank you.
Congratulations.
thank you, Dr. Bhatia, for hosting this event. I'm the head of sustainability for Chalhoub Group, and I'm receiving the award for Patrick Chalhoub. The group is very committed to sustainability since its creation in 1955. Our strategy evolves around 4 pillars of environment. So we are also looking at solar panel solutions, people, diversity and inclusion, women empowerment, our partners, supply chain, and we are also very committed to community living around mainly education and health. And I'm happy to see some of our partners here today. So thank you very much for the work.
Saeed Al-Qasim from SIWA, Sharjah Water and Electricity Authority. I want to say thank you very much to organize this, mashallah, great event, and I come here behalf on the Dr. Rashid Alim, chairman for the SIWA. Thank you very much.
And the Jashmal Group has been in the Gulf for 98 years, so
wow.
2 years to go for the 100. So we're from the time when the people who were working for us used to go back home every 5 years by ship. There was no Dubai airport in those days. There was no direct supply of water or no direct supply of electricity, so you had to create everything yourself, and you always had quite a bit of shortage of everything. From that time, we learned that, especially in these areas, that water saving and electricity saving are very, very important. So we have programs amongst our staff, plus for them to tell everybody that this is one thing to be done. But generally, we have also that we teach our staff that it's not, they only don't work for the company, they're part of the community. So we have many programs on weekends which have to do with sustainability. On education side, trying to educate more people in the schools, but also at the same time teaching people more on waste management, etc. But we have most of our staff working on weekends for these private projects.
Congratulations. 98 years, very long. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. Even I am very humbled with Miss Dr. Bhatia's event, and I think it's been a very fruitful morning. I'm receiving this award on behalf of my father, Mr. Manohar Lahori. He has always believed in charity begins at home, and since 35 years we've been established in Jabza. He has been giving to his employees. We have a very strong employee welfare program where we give them obviously interest-free loans for their houses and child education. And I have in fact decided to take this a step further and also establish a Palmon Foundation where we will be giving more in terms of girl child education, especially because we have witnessed that over the years that a lot of even our employees are okay with their girls not getting educated. They're just in a rush to get them married.
Wow.
And this is something that I really personally believe in, because I believe that women contribute a lot to the community and they should be entitled to a fair education as much as a man. So I've recently started this initiative, and I think today's morning motivated me more to further it as soon as possible. So thank you everybody for being here, and thank you for having us.
Wow, it's so wonderful. Makes me feel so motivated. Thank you, winners. Thank you, winners. Thank you so much. Dr. Sazwan Al-Madi, Director General, Friends of Cancer Patients, will receive the CSR Leadership Award. Dr. Sazwan Al-Madi from the Friends of Cancer Patients UAE. Please welcome her for the good work and we are honored. Please be on stage, Doctor. Maha Cosmo Al-Azhar, Director, Awalonda Center for People with Disabilities. We did hear you, listen to you, and we are honored that you admits us. Give her a big round of applause. A woman with a lot of courage. Tatiana Antole Abela, founder and managing director of Gosmo Book. May I please invite you to receive your honors. I'm a big fan of yours and thank you for the great work that you do. Thank you so much. Sarah Brook, founder and CEO of the Sparkle Foundation. I have the privilege to invite you. Sarah, please step up to receive your award today. Sarah Brook, the Sparkle Foundation. Wayne Dunn, President and Founder, CSR Training Institute. Wayne Dunn, President and Founder of CSR Institute. Okay. May I invite Mr. Lohel Khidir, PMP Water Sector Leader from the Mott MacDonald to step up to receive his honors. Give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Francisco Xavier Desalet, Water Market Director of Atkins, if you admits us, may I please request you to step up to receive your honors. Tariq Ismail, Executive Director, Corporate Affairs Sustainability of the Savola Group Company. I have the privilege to honor you on stage today. Tariq Ismail, may I please request you to step up. Mariette Lefernick, CEO of the Federation for the Sustainable Environment. Yes, please, I believe you are representing him. I have the privilege to invite you. Medea Nosrenti, co-founder and CEO of Consult and Coach for a Cause. I have the privilege to invite you. L&T Smart World and Communication. May I invite the senior leader from Larsen & Toubro, Smart World and Communication. With a big round of applause, I must mention that L&T Smart World has 6 projects for which they received the honor. Please get one of the trophies up as a token. And while I give you the mic, I must mention your projects for Nagpur Smart City, Hyderabad Intelligent Traffic Management Systems, Mumbai City Surveillance, Pune Smart City, Jaipur Smart City, and Odisha Early Warning Dissemination. All have got the honors today. So we're going to give you a big round of applause for your winning today. Martin Electronic Devices Limited, I beg your pardon, Martin Electronic Devices and Instruments, the best research and development company for solar energy, received the honors. May I invite you to receive your honors today. Martin. We're going to give the mic and do the last set of awards and then break for lunch. Can we have a few sound bites? I want to choose this time. Many who have spoken earlier. You're my hero. Yeah, I want to hear you. And that's why you're here. Thank you for the good work that you do.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. So I'm the founder of Goombuk. It's hard to pronounce, but somehow when I tell the story of the name, people tend to remember it a bit more. So I chose the word Goom as it means tribe. I'm not able to pronounce it the right way in Arabic. Home, the tribe, the family that used to travel around the area and used to survive in the desert, sharing resources, living sustainably as a family. And some values that somehow we've lost with modern times. The aim of Goombuk is to raise awareness about what it means to live in the UAE, our impact on the environment, on the society, on the community, and what we can do about it. I'm honored to be here today because when I first launched, 8 years ago almost, people were telling me, don't do it. There's no need, nobody will ever care. about sustainability, going green. It's just a trend, something that happens in the States, in Europe. And so I didn't find any investors. And we went with my husband, and I would be always grateful. But then, thanks to the community in the UAE and incredible groups and companies who really invest their money and their time and their volunteers into environmental initiatives, social initiatives, we were able to grow and have our own impact. One of our main initiatives is to plant trees in the UAE. We plant the Galf tree, which is the UAE national tree. It's a desert tree and a survivor, and definitely the symbol of living here. We are all survivors and we fight, and I hope we're going to fight for a better future, which is the main aim. I'm very impressed to see children today here. I had tears in my eyes today. I had goosebumps. I'm blessed to be here among all these leaders, and definitely leaders is not being in charge, but taking care of the rest of us and of the community. So thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Sarah Brooke. So a bit about the story, I think similar in the sense of it being the year of giving. I founded the organisation when I was 18, I'm now 26. I think it resonates here that a small amount can make a huge difference. It started for me because in Africa, a country called Malawi, one of the poorest countries in the world, saved my life, and people died so that I could stand here. And from that moment on, I knew I had to do something to help. So I set up a charity. I only wanted to make a small difference, and now, nearly 10 years on, I've got 30 staff on the ground, 7,500 orphans in my care, and it's just gone from strength to strength. So I'm really touched to be here. Now I'm in the UAE advising corporate companies where best to put their money, skills and advice, because all of our charity is run on a pro bono basis, and that's because good-willed people here in the UAE and around the world are enabling me to reach children and save lives. Thank you.
Hardest applause I've heard since morning. It's all the credit to you. So keep up the good work.
Good afternoon. My name is Luay Khader. I'm the water sector lead for Mount Macdonald for the region. Although I'm here for Luay, but I would like to share some thoughts. I've been carrying a responsibility and trying to make a difference in every place I've been to, in different organizations. Living in the UAE for almost now 20 years and working with different organizations, starting from developers and clients to construction companies and now engineering companies. It's very common that we just overlook the essence, what we're all about. At the end, it's all about people, it's all about resources, and trying to make a difference. And I would just want to make a very simple link between the sustainability and the carbon management. So we're leading a campaign where through the work that we've done in the UK, there is a direct link between cost and cutting carbon. This will drive innovation, thinking out of the box, giving back to the community. And we're seeing it happening, and thank God we're in UAE, which is the most mature in the thinking related to this. So I would use this forum to welcome everybody to visit us at WEDEX. We're participating, and we're announcing and launching different solutions related to the topic that will enhance work, well-being, and obviously giving back to the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bahatia. This is Tariq Ismail. I'm the Executive Director of Safari Group. Dr. Bahatia, before we start, if you don't mind, we'll count together from 1 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every 4 seconds, there is a human dying in this country, in this world. So this is against food waste in these countries. every 4 seconds there is a human died in this world, which is, it's a shame on all of us to say and we stand alone without saying or doing anything. What we did is basically, we have a program. We launched it on March last year, 2017. This year is 2017. It's the first program from the private sector against food waste. Today, it's with the collaborations as a private sector, and we are very proud that we are the only private sector in Samora Group that we have that collaboration with the United Nations. I worked for that for the last 2 years to make sure that basically we get this program on live. I have the honor from United Nations to have a honorary doctorate from them regarding this cause and this strategy and study. Today, we reach in 3 months around having almost 20% food waste in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the highest per person. It's around 427 kilogram per person per year, which is very high. The second one is US, which is 130 kilogram per person. Arabic world, Saudi is number 1, UAE is number 2 by 320, which is still very high number. So today, we have to take advantage of that. And all of us, we are responsible to solve this cause. Before I came to Dubai last week I have been approved 1 million ready food containers to be distributed immediately till the end of 2017, inshallah.
I would like to work with you on making this place, this world a better place. If there's anything I can contribute, please let me know. It's my mission and my motto.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is Jacqueline and I am honoured to be receiving this award on behalf of a dear friend of mine and a fellow South African, Mariette Liverink. She's CEO of the Federation for Sustainability in the Environment. And they do a lot of amazing work in impoverished communities back in South Africa. Communities that are affected by mining. And she and her team are committed to preserving the environment for future generations. I feel inspired by all of you, and I commend you for your amazing work in communities around the world. I believe that mindset, it all comes down to mindset. And if we can change our way of thinking, then we change our way of doing. And if we can do that, then we change the world. So I think it's a matter of us going back to where we came from and actually teaching others how to go about it so that that can be a chain effect and more people can learn and we can all work on sustainability together.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Bhatia, for this award. I'm very honored to be in this crowd of amazing people. My name is Medea, and I founded a company called C3, Consulting Coach for a Cause. We believe business has a big role to play in sustainability and in societal causes and changes, and we support entrepreneurs that put social or environmental missions at the core of their strategies. We do that with accelerator programs, with consulting, with coaching, mostly pro bono. And we try to foster this community of entrepreneurs that want to change the world in the Middle East. Thank you so much for having me here.
Good afternoon. My name is Sayed. I'm representing the company L&T. We are a $16 million company, and one of the core pillars for us is sustainability. We are really honored to be part of this fabulous function, and I would like to thank Dr. Bhatia for honoring us, and thank you very much.
Hello everybody. In a small town of Kerala, a boy of 7 years old was called a rebel because he said no to studying English or Malayalam and all he wanted to study was maths and science. That boy was called Martin Xavier, He started this company, MEDI, Martin's Electronic Devices and Instruments. He quit studies, he quit school and studied on his own. He became an engineer in power electronics and wrote books in power electronics, which is still today being circulated in engineering schools in India. Our company is dedicated to working in solar. We have sold designs to over 200 companies who are manufacturing solar products. And just to give an idea of how many products there are in the market, just one of our designs is over 700,000 units in the market. That means 700,000 homes are being lit by solar because of this great person, Martin Xavier. I'm taking this award on behalf of our company and Martin Xavier. Thank you very much.